We'll eventually roll out a sub same day, so you can be like laying in bed at night and order something that'll come the next day by noon, which is exciting. And then we'll have a heavy bulky area where anything 75 pounds or greater, we'll be able to load into a box truck and get that delivered as well. But yeah, the full flow of the package, when a trailer comes in, they'll dock up. We'll induct that onto one of these induct fingers. It'll eventually make its way over to one of our sort zones, and we'll get a closer up visual of that when we get closer. Packages are stowed to bags. They're eventually put onto carts, where then they're delivered stage for our delivery partners to deliver that in the local community. Yep. Those are the stages. So it'll say bring your cart to B20. So they'll find where to stage it. They'll scan that QR code, and that's where it is. If you're a flex, so these are flex. So shortly we'll see drivers coming through that are with the flex program. So it's an app, you download it on your phone, and like I said, if you're over 21, have a 4-door car, and can pass a background check, you can deliver for Amazon.
Sorry.
We'll bring this route to a car once they're stationed and parked. They'll open the Flex app, they'll scan this QR code, and then it'll tell them how to pack their car to route these the most efficient way. And this is a 3-hour route. So if you're local and know the area, it probably won't take you 3 hours. This is kind of on average based on the route. The system thinks it will take that, but you might be able to do it in 2 hours or 2.5 hours. You can still keep full fare if you finish early. That's okay. And your address is in Springfield. Now that we're here, when you're going to put it into your cart, it'll tell you, hey, if you click this option, you'll be able to get it by the next day or the same day. So.
And what area is that for where the same day delivery might apply?
So in Springfield, we're basically 60 miles in every direction.
Talk to me about staffing here. I know you mentioned there's some full-time staff that have moved here, but you also have part-time staff. What are numbers looking like for that?
So this building will be strictly part-time, and right now we've got roughly 75 associates. We're starting small. Like today, for example, we had about 1,000 packages. We're going to scale that up. Our MEC capacity is 40,000 for one cycle. We anticipate long-term, especially in our peak periods, we could get up to 50,000. And as we scale in volume, we'll be hiring more and more people on. So we could get up to 150 to 200 workers in this building helping get packages out.
At a time?
Sure, yeah,
and
on the plus side and the fulfillment side.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so when you say 40,000 packages a cycle, is that a day? Is that...
That's in a day.
Okay,
yeah.
Awesome. I know you mentioned you obviously moved to Springfield. Obviously, for a community of our size, having something like this open is significant. I mean, not only for the ease of shipping, but also job opportunities. What do you tend to see when you're moving into areas, opening a new Amazon facility, when it comes to the employees and the impact you guys can make?
The RSR network stands for Rural Super Rural, and Amazon earlier this year invested $4 billion in just the RSR network alone to help scale. And what I'm finding is I'm from Dubuque, Iowa, which also has an RSR site there now. And what I love about this network is when I first moved to an area, and I'll let people know who I am and that we're launching a site, it's excitement. People are like, wow, I used to be a Prime customer, and it used to take, a couple days to get a package in my rural farm or rural area. Now we're guaranteeing that 2-day promise and offering even faster speeds for our rural customer, which wasn't possible for a while. So very exciting that this is taking off. When I joined the RSR network in January of 2022, there were roughly 25 sites. Right now there's around 150 and plans to continue growing and filling in the rest of that network map.
I'm glad you mentioned rural customers, because when you say 60 miles around Springfield, I mean, that's Springfield and then maybe Decatur and then just a lot of farms.
It covers a wide area.
What kind of services can you provide to a rural community that maybe they can't get from, a lot of these areas, you can't DoorDash food. What is the difference for you guys with that?
So, some of the unique features of RSR is eventually we'll be able to offer hub. So let's say you're in a rural area and you own a hardware store. You could make a partnership with us where we'll drop off up to 200 packages to your hardware store, and you'll go out and deliver in the community that you know best. So there will be a hub element here. We'll be rolling that out closer to peak. And so there's things like that, and especially if you're in a small town and maybe you want to make some extra side money, you could download Amazon Flex and take a delivery route out, and it's kind of a fun something to do, get to know your city, be out and about. And what I like specifically about RSR is you really get to make a partnership with the community. Every month we'll be donating $1,000 to a non-for-profit or worthy cause. We donated this last week to Wild Canine Rescue, and we'll continue to be looking for great organizations as we grow.
Can you talk about the hiring process? How many folks are you looking for? Are you still hiring? And what's the best way to get connected?
We've hired about 75 so far, and I encourage people, if you go to amazon.com/jobs, that's where you can find us, or a simple internet search, Springfield, Amazon, hourly jobs. That'll pop there. If you're not seeing anything, it just means that we're full right now, but every Friday we drop more positions, and right now we're at about 1,000 packages. Once we start getting up to those 40,000, 50,000, and every day we're ramping and growing, and we'll be hiring on more and more folks. So don't be discouraged if you don't see anything right away. Keep checking back, and there's a good chance that we can get you in here.
What's your typical employee look like? Are you usually seeing high school, college age? You see, higher up in age? What does that usually look like?
It's a wide range. Anybody can work here, no matter the age, no matter what your background is. And it's all demographics. In Cedar Falls, Iowa, where I previously was, 90% of our associate base were Haitian Creole and didn't speak any English, and we were still able to facilitate getting them the language that they desired into their device, and even deaf. We have a couple deaf associates here. We have tools and equipment to facilitate a wide range of resources for anybody working here. So everybody's welcome. We have a very inclusive workspace across all of Amazon, to be frank.